Hello, my name is Ali, and welcome to my channel. We are back with Hakuoki Kyoto wins Harada's route. Let's go. My mind and heart were still reflecting on the wonderful thing that just happened. I returned to my room with my head held high. I'd been staying there for a while now, but sometimes I still felt like I was baggage to them. They needed me for one thing, and one thing only. I was never really a part of them, nor did I belong. But now, Kondo's words filled in some of the holes in my heart. Just a little, but I treasured the feeling. Smiling, I collapsed onto my futon. The strain and fatigue from earlier was a good feeling, and I let it drag me under to sleep. Oh, okay. Chapter 3, February 1865. Of course, there's Chikage. The dawn of the new year arriving. It was February of 1865, and we finished eating breakfast. I was carrying a plate full of tea and opened the door to the common room. Tea's ready.
Oh, thank you, Yukimura.
I made my way around the room, pouring a cup of tea for each person there, making sure not to spill. He gave me a warm smile as I handed him his tea.
There's nothing quite so delicious as hot tea on a cold day.
Thank you. I felt a flush of pride at his words, even though I knew quite well that serving tea was hardly impressive. Just the same, I felt as if I was helping out in a way, and that was a nice feeling. Then Hijikata spoke, and his words brought me back to the present.
The Yagi have been good to us so far, but this place is getting crowded.
True. It is getting a little small, especially with all the new guys coming in.
If we could move to a bigger place, that'd be great. Some of the guys in the dorm looked stiff.
Yeah, the guys over at Meikawa residence are practically smushed sushi the way they sleep. To be a young grunt these days, I pity them. If only there was something we could do. Easy for us to say, but imagine trying to find who else is willing to let us stay at their place. I mean, we are Kyoto's most hated. A person sitting beside Kondo pointed at the map, spread upon the table. What of this? Nishi-Hanwanji Temple, The Nishi-Hanwanji Temple? I can't see any reason for them to accept us. But there are no other locations big enough to accommodate a living space for a few hundred men. And besides, the tactical advantage of this temple would allow us to fortify in times of panic. This man was named Kashitaro Ito, recruited by Heisuke a few months ago as the Shinsegumi's military advisor and deputy commander. He developed his notoriety teaching Hokushin Ito at his dojo, and he is known for his scholarliness. Additionally, it is very well known that the Nishi used to shelter the Choshu Ronin. If we move to the Nishi-Hanwanji Temple, it would be an advantageous hiding spot from the Ronin.
Oh, I see. Very good points. I can't believe you put this much detail into it.
Kondo seemed very impressed by Ito's suggestion, but a silent voice of protest arose. You don't think it's somewhat uncouth to use force against men of the cloth? Ito's brow twitched, as if disturbed by the idea, and he faced Sanan directly. Would you say that to the Choshu Ronin who inhabited the temple and did as they pleased? But aren't you nice, Sanan? You're even considering the feelings of outlaw Ronin who actively disrupt the peace of Kyoto. Ito's deflection of Sanan's words left a bitter taste in everyone's mouth, including Sanan. I agree that this extremist imperial nationalist party must be dealt with, but this seems... So, what are you saying? When we meet in battle, do you expect them to respect the Shinsengumi in name alone, and to engage in a fight fair and square? Wouldn't it be just peachy if all those Choshu Ronin were on their best behavior like the Kamakura warrior? Saburo, watch your mouth now, darling, Ah, my mistake. Couldn't help myself. The other man beside Ito was Saburo Miki, who joined at the same time as Ito. Allegedly, he was Ito's younger brother by blood. They look nothing alike. My apologies, everyone. This young one here has a tendency to let his mouth run free, you see? Just like you. So, Sanan, don't take it too personally. I'm sure we need a person like you to make the Shinsengumi succeed. Even if your left arm is useless, your indubitable wit and book smarts shall prove useful. I'm sure. I watched as Sanan bit his lip, an act of restraint to Ito's sour words. The tension was cut by another voice. Perhaps I didn't hear you correctly, Ito. Hijikata's words were cold and sharp, like the sound of a blade sliding across a whetstone. Ito seemed taken aback, and his eyes grew wide. Sanon's smart, like you said. But above all, he's a swordsman of the Shinsengumi. He is not useless, and he is not replaceable. Get it through your head. Hijikata only spoke when necessary, but it must have been something he truly believed. However... But my arm is... He couldn't even seem to bring himself to finish. It seemed as though Hijikata realized his words, were reminding Sanan of what he used to be, causing Sanan to curl his lip into a frown. Oh dear, I didn't mean to cause such a fuss. Next time, I'll keep my thoughts to myself. Sanan is quite the beloved member here, isn't he? It's nice to see such a tight-knit group. It's just that, as I'm sure you've thought about it, I hope the new members share that sentiment. Hijikata's eyes seethed with anger towards Ito. I just hate that guy. Kondo tried to relieve the tension by stepping in and clearing the air.
Well, for now, let's keep business strictly in terms of finding a new headquarters location. Ito, would you mind coming with me? I would love to continue our earlier discussion about a new base.
Sure, I'd love to. Seeing the two get up, Takeda followed right behind them, like a little puppy dog. Or a big puppy dog, I guess you can say. Chief Kondo, may I join as well?
Of course. I want to hear what Ito has to offer and broaden your views. Even the captains of the Shinsengumi must push themselves to learn more than fighting. It is our responsibility to grow and gain knowledge, to expand our horizons.
Yes, sir. Kondo left the common room with Ito and Miki, however, who still sat before us. Humph. He smirked coldly towards us as he slinked off to leave the common room. Okita spoke once Miki's footsteps weren't audible. Ugh, who brought those bastards into the Shinsengumi?
The culprit is still in Edo. Damn it, Heisuke. When he gets back, I'm going to give him a few punches.
Ito is with the Imperial Nationalist Party, aye? Surprising to see people with the same beliefs as those Choshu bastards joining the Shinsengumi. Well, nationalists think themselves to be above the Choshu for whatever it's worth. I mean, the Imperial Nationalist Party is... Well, just listen to the bullshit he was going on about the other day. It seems as though he has rubbed off on Kondo as well, which is a poor influence in my opinion. Well, Kondo is a kind person. He is easily deceived by silver tongues, those who appear virtuous, but are real scumbags. So Ito is our deputy commander, and his little brother is the captain of the 9th Division, huh? That is going to be a real bitch. Eventually, Hijikata approached Sanan, who weakly hung his head, facing the floor in shame. Sanan, don't listen to that asshole, okay? Sanan laughed dryly and shook his head. He is well educated and a skilled orator. Not only that, he's good with a sword. With such a gifted deputy commander, I suppose the Shinsengumi has little need for a colonel. Hey, Sanan. Sanan left the room as Hijikata's voice trailed behind, echoing in the hall. Man, I feel bad for him. Even the men are avoiding him these days. What? But why?
Well, can't blame him. No matter what you say to him, he takes it the wrong way. And no matter what you say, he acts like such a smug smartass, so the warriors are intimidated and want nothing to do with him.
Oh no. Poor Sanan. Even though I haven't been here as long as the captains, I knew Sanan was so well liked by the other warriors before his injury. Hey, Hichikata, can't you come up with some bullshit excuse to kick Ito out? Ever since they arrived, it's been nothing but bad vibes and sour moods.
You know damn well I cannot do that. I mean, look at the way Kondo fawns over Ito. Besides, he's brought a large force of men behind him when he joined. You think they won't make a stink if he were just to disappear?
Well, damn, aren't you supposed to be the demon, the commander from hell? You're supposed to make the impossible happen.
Fine, Soji. How about we make you commander? Then you can kick Ito and his guys out, right?
Ha! Hell no. That's way too much trouble.
The consensus was that Ito was not to be trusted, and it seems no one spoke in his defense. Only one, during all of this, quietly sipped his tea. Saito quietly looked up at me as I poured more tea into his cup. So, what do you think about Ito? I mean, about Ito joining, that is.
As an organization grows, it will expand to include people who have differing in ideas and point of view.
Ah, so then,
however, if one attempts to force this sort of diversity, then the organization will begin to rot from within.
His words hung in the air, a dark omen of the future of the Shinsengumi. It was considerate of Ito to join, but his presence seemed to be a recipe for dissension, if not outright disaster. The setting sun glowed through the windows with a warm, rich maroon, an ominous kind of beauty. It's cold. I came out into the yard and my body stopped due to the cold. Guess spring will take a while. I wasn't too fond of Ito, but it was Sanan and his condition that truly worried me. I really wish his arm would just heal. That arm, or perhaps more accurately, the lack of, was the source of his change in personality. Still, as nice as it would be for Sanan's arm to simply start working again, that seemed like the stuff of a child's fable, not real life. That was when I remembered. Flashback.
If push comes to shove, he'll have to take it. I don't think Sanan's just going to give up.
Don't jinx him, Soji. It's gonna look bad if officers start joining the Furies.
Okita was talking about the Shinsengumi having some secret serum back in the day. Judging from how they spoke of it, it's an item with circumstances. But I was not to know about the existence of that serum. If I were to look into it without approval, there was no doubt that I'd be punished. But I'm the daughter of a doctor. I'm pretty sure I had more knowledge on medicine than the men of the Shinsengumi did. We're going to return to our room, I believe. Just want to make sure. Yes, we are. Return to my room. Perhaps it would be best to just return to my room. I didn't want to get in trouble for wandering around, but most of all, I didn't want to find myself in anyone's way. Even though I was worried about Sanan, maybe it's for the best for me to stay out of the way. Just as the sun dipped below the horizon, the compound exploded with activity. My worry increased tenfold. Did something happen? I waited for a few moments for the activity to settle down, but it did no such thing. Something was wrong. I could feel it. I struggled against it for as long as I could, but eventually my curiosity got the better of me. There must be someone in the common room. I decided to ask someone what had happened.
To think that Sana would have done this to himself.
God damn it. What the hell are you guys doing? I told you countless times to watch out for Sanan. Was some part of that difficult to understand?
Come on, man. Who would have thought he'd drink that stuff? I mean, Sanon was in charge of watching that stuff anyway, so it's not like we would have known.
If it were hidden in a small bottle, we would have no way of knowing if it was on him. I mean, I suppose there is a chance that the treatment would heal his arm, but it didn't work, did it? Everybody who took it went crazy. Then Sanon would be. I wondered what they meant by treatment. Occasionally, I heard the captains refer to something similar from time to time. So, did Sanon drink that thing? I believe Colonel Sanon was working on improving it. He hoped to repair his arm before it had deteriorated too far. Perhaps he felt he was finished, or at least close enough. Whatever the case, when he realized his failure, he ignored Soji's counsel and attempted suicide. Suicide? The words were past my lips before I'd even thought them. As one, all eyes in the room turned towards me.
Just what the hell are you doing here?
The longer his cold gaze kept me pinned, the tighter my throat became, until I could barely breathe, let alone speak. I felt a strange combination of anxiety, suspicion, and animosity that I had felt before on the night I arrived to the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. Now, as then, I knew the meaning of that gaze.
Toshi, I think it's time you told her what's going on.
I'm going to let you guys go here. I hope you are enjoying, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!